Everybody, welcome back to another match preview. This one's for Sunderland versus Bolton Wanderers at the Stadium Light on a Saturday. But just before I get into that, can you please hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and if you leave a comment in the comment section below, I will try my best to reply. Also, look out for the special guest at the end. But we're going to start off with Bolton Wanderers. Are they on their way back to the heydays that once used to have? This is their first season back in League 1 after being promoted from League 2. And they're currently in 8th. In my opinion, they're doing really, really well. They've got 12 points up to now this season. And in their last game, they did get beat 2-0 at home as well off Rotherham. But they've had really good victories along this way. They've absolutely smashed Ipswich 5-2. They've had victories at Lincoln as well. And they've also beat Oxford United along the way. One of my most favourite away days of all time, what I can remember, and it's not that long ago, it was Bolton Wanderers under Phil Parkinson. I know the game weren't the best and we drew 1-1, but we took loads of fans there, and where we are situated, the away fans, it made for a really good atmosphere with against the Bolton Wanderers home support. The stadium also, it's canny big stadium. It's a really, really good stadium for League 1. Probably one up there with one of the best in the league. A quick fact about Bolton Wanderers, they're the informed team in the league away. So the top of the table for form away from home. So we've got to be very wary of that. And also a player who we've really got to keep an eye on. He's one of their best players in my opinion, is Trevoe. He's got 4 goals this season up to now. He plays like on the left hand side as a forward, gets down the wing and tries to cut inside, and he creates chances for himself. But the style of football that Bolton Wanderers play, it does help him create chances for himself, and he can get into the box a hell of a lot more. So is this the turnaround Bolton Wanderers fans have been hoping and praying for? They've just come up from League 2, they're doing so well in League 1. Can they get back into the Championship? Who knows? Can they make the playoffs, or can they get there on merit? Who knows? I hope so. Moving on to Sunderland. Confidence breeds confidence, and we are coming off a really, really good performance against Wigan on Tuesday. Probably is, in my opinion, our best performance this season. I know there was a lot of changes from both teams, and that's the thing. Our second team is just as good as our first, and that's a refreshing change because it gives us so much strength in depth, and that's what I'm loving about this season so far. There's so much quality in our squad. Our second team play exactly the same way as our first team do. Just before I get into my team selection, I just hope against Bolton Wanderers on Saturday that for the last 10 minutes we didn't sit in, because that just invites unnecessary pressure, and that cost us against Fleetwood. So for me, I just hope Lee Johnson doesn't do that, because when we're 2-0 up, before the last 10-15 minutes, we were controlling the game and we're very comfortable. So to sit back and then start bringing on defenders, it just does invite pressure. It's like poor man management, really. And I just hope he doesn't do that against Bolton Wanderers. We look so comfortable for the majority of that game. I didn't see any reason to start inviting pressure by sitting off. So I just hope to God he doesn't sit off on Saturday. Right, everybody, my lineup is giving me a massive headache. Never mind Lee Johnson, I've got a headache here. But I'd start with the goalkeeper. I'm going again for Hoffman. Lee Burge had a really improved performance against Wigan. So it would be harsh for us to see a drop him, but it would have been harsh for us to see a drop Patterson for Hoffman, and Lee Johnson did that. So I'd still like to see Hoffman. At right back for me, Huggins was really, really, really good. He was a threat most of the game, and for our goal, his little play and his little movement to get in the box and then square it across, it was outstanding. But for me, Winchester starts as the number 1 in the league. I can't see him getting dropped at the minute at right back, and Huggins did pick up a little injury. It's not as bad as what they once thought it was. He started to be alright more or less as soon as the game finished, so that's a positive. But it's still Winchester for me. So the 2 centre backs, Bailey Wright. Do you know what? He should never have given the referee a decision to make. It was a soft penalty, but as an experienced centre-back, I didn't expect that from him. And so for me, I wouldn't be playing him against Bolton Wanderers. I'm going again for Doyle and Flanagan. That partnership, what we were like in the league, and that's what we're being used to, and they've got to understanding together. So for me, it's got to be them two. Left back, one of player who's really improving every game in, game out. He's getting better and better as the season goes on, and he made an outstanding run against Wigan, and I just wish he could have finished it off with a goal, but it made a really good save from Amos to put it over, and that's certain. He's got to keep that left back spot, and to be honest, I cannot see Denver Hume moving certain out of that left back spot anyway, not when he's playing like he is. Luke O'Neill, Dan Neal and Elliot Emberton. It's worked so well up to now, so why would I want to change it? Why would I want to disrupt it? Yes, O'Neill he's played in that spot where Evans plays, and Evans did well against Wigan, and he is a really good player, for like, he's experienced, and that is his role. But for me, Luke O'Neill, he hasn't done anything to warrant me taking him out of my team. So with that, and he got on the score sheet against Wigan, the shoulder injury seems to be gone, and he put in a really good performance. So for me, why would you drop him? So Daniel, Elliot, Emberton come in for me. Yes, they were rested for a little bit, really. They did come on as substitutes, but they did have a little rest, and I cannot see him changing them, and I wouldn't personally change them. I didn't want to fix something that isn't broken, and for me, them two, the creativity going forward, they're starting to chip in with an odd goal here and there now. For me, I wouldn't want to change it. I wouldn't want to bring anybody else in other than them two. And on the right hand side, this one for me, I wanted to see Broadhead, right? But I know he wouldn't bring him in. I know he wouldn't drop Gooch and McGeady. I know he might drop one of them. But for me, I can't see him dropping McGeady. McGeady and Gooch were rested for the Wigan game, but Dajaku played really well, and I do like his forward play, his burst of pace. And for me, Gooch, he's been frustrating this season, I'm not going to lie, and I think it's time Gooch did get rested. So for me, Dajaku comes in instead of Gooch. Ross Stewart keeps his spot up top. His physicality, his movement on and off the ball, he's not going to lose his spot. And on the left hand side, I wouldn't have mind seeing Broadhead as a substitute later on in the game, because I know he's not going to drop poor for them. But for me, I'm going to see Aidan McGeady, and then Broadhead as a substitute, maybe 65 minutes, something like that, and see what he offers. As he did take his goal against Wigan extremely well. When he come down the wing, he cut inside. I thought at first he was going to shoot, but he checked bang round the goalkeeper. He took that chance and buried it really well. So for me, I would like to see him as a substitute at some point in the game. And that's it, the moment you've been waiting for. Take it away, Jacob. Subscribe if you haven't, hit the thumbs up, and I'll see you in my match vlog.
Back at the Stadium of Light on Saturday, Bolton Wanderers at home, and even though they're a side that have just come up from League Two, I'm expecting a tough game on Saturday, managed by Ian Evatt. They've definitely got a bit of physicality about them, but they've got good attacking players in their side as well. Don't forget they also put 5 past Ipswich 2 weeks back as well. So yeah, I'm expecting a tough game, but what I'd really like to see from the lads is keep a clean sheet. You know, only one kept in the league all season. That was in our 1-0 win against Wimbledon back at the Stadium of Light in August. And tightening up the defence is something we really need to go with. You know, we started on Tuesday with 3 centre-backs down at Wigan. Could that be the answer on Saturday? Who knows? And but I'm expecting the likes of, you know, Tom Flanagan, who's back from suspension, him to be back in the starting 11, Callum Doyle as well, Ross Stewart, who was on the bench on Tuesday night, he did come on in the end, Dan Neal as well, all to come back into the starting 11. But Lee Johnson's got a selection heartache, and it's not a bad thing to have as a manager, to be honest. You know, Nathan Broadhead and Leon Dajaku were absolutely superb down at the DW Stadium on Tuesday, providing a lot of attacking threat. Daniel Sirkin, what a performance that was as well. He'll definitely keep his place at left back, considering Denver Hume needs a few more weeks training after signing his new contract. But back to them two, superb. And I think potentially Dajaku may come in for Gooch, but I think Lyndon Gooch, since Lee Johnson's taken over, to be honest, Lyndon Gooch has got a key role to play in the sides he likes to play. But yeah, I'm expecting him to go back to the 4-2-3-1 system. that he's been playing mostly in the league this season, even though I think it was a 3-4-3 down at Wigan, 4-3 down at Wigan on Tuesday night. But a tough game, but I'm going to go for a 2-1 Sunderland victory. Even though I would like a clean sheet, I think they'll make it hard for ourselves, and they'll be looking to bounce back from their 2-0 defeat at home to Rotherham last week as well. So 2-1 to the lads, keep the faith. How are the lads?